Rio Tinto Stadium in Sandy, Utah, where the lights feel just a little bit brighter and the excitement just a little bit more palpable. Sky Blue and Chicago here on CBS Sports. Gloria Lindsay, Marissa Pilla, Mike Watts. Let's meet the starting lineups. Shortly before kickoff, Casey Short was ruled out of tonight's match. Minor injury in yesterday's practice. Zoe Goralski plays the biggest game of her life.
Chicago Red Stars in their typical 4-3-3. Keep your eye on number 2, Kalia Watts. She had the best opportunity in their quarterfinal game against OL Reign. They'll look for her to continue to create chances in tonight's game as well. But number 9, Savannah McCaskill, can she hold up the ball? There'll be a lot of room in front of that back line for Sky Blue. But when you think about the back line in this defense, you think about Alyssa Nair. She's one of their vocal leaders. They're going to need that from her tonight, but also building out of the back, her smart distribution from her will be key. And then for Sky Blue FC, also in a 4-3-3, number 5, Sabrina Flores, 15, Sabrina Flores, comes in for Imani Dorsey, but it's going to be all about number 9, Kawasumi, how she pops off that back line, her movement off the ball. Can she create disruption in that back line for Chicago Red Stars and allow for number 25, Anamanu, and number 4, Monahan to be able to make runs in behind? But when you think about a leader on this team, you think about McCullers Zaboni. She makes everybody around her better, her distribution, her vocal leadership, but also can she take that a step further, be more aggressive in the attack, and help unbalance this defense for Chicago Red Stars?
For more on McCall, down to Marissa.
Sky Blue head coach Freya Coombe said when you're trying to turn a team around, you need a combination of leadership, character, experience, and no player fits the bill better than midfielder McCall Zabroni. Coombe said that McCall Zabroni brings such a sense of confidence and enjoyment of this game into her teammates, and she said she's been such an amazing addition to this team. Zabroni said the minute she walked onto the field with her new team this offseason, she could already sense the high level of talent this team had, and she's excited to help lead them towards meeting their full potential. And while some people may be shocked that Sky Blue has made it this far in the Challenge Cup, Zabroni said she's not surprised one bit. And in fact, she wasn't going to settle for anything less.
So McCall Zabroni and Sky Blue FC trying to reach the promised land of a final. Alyssa Nair stands in their way. The number 1 goalkeeper for the U.S. women's national team. On the opposite end, Kaylin Sheridan, Canadian goalkeeper whose potential and promise slowly becoming the reality of a great goalkeeper in the National Women's Soccer League. Colloquially, you could call this the Sam Kerr Derby. That would probably be frowned upon in some regions. Here we go, underway, semifinal number 2. Sky Blue and Chicago, the 6th and the 7th seeds, both performing tremendous upsets in the quarterfinal, looking to reach the final Sunday on CBS. Sky Blue in white, Red Stars in blue, as Flores plays back. Estelle Johnson.
You might come into this game, both coaches talking about getting off to a fast start, getting confidence under their belt, and then being able to build in possession from there. We'll see which team, especially after seeing the first semifinal match, tired legs for both teams, who can connect passes, keep possession, be able to switch to point of attack and find open space.
Goralski in for the injured Casey Short. You and I spoke with Rory Dames a couple days ago, and it seemed that the frustration boiled over a little bit as Goralski cuts back. And the cross early punched away by Sheridan. Not with his team's performance, not with the fact that they're in another semifinal, with the fact that they played 4 minutes of 5v5 and picked up 2 more injuries in practice, of which Casey Short was one. Slide in, out for a corner.
And good hard tackle by Midge Purse early on, just to let her presence be known in that right back position. But keep in mind, this ball was sent in originally. Good save by Sheridan. And then a repress by the Chicago Red Stars. It's a dangerous cross. But in that second opportunity, that's Julie Ertz making a run through the midfield, something to keep an eye on throughout this match.
Set piece for Chicago. Runners arriving, headed down by Johnson, and that's off target. Former Sky Blue player back in 2018, 4 goals for the side from Jersey from Savannah McCaskill, who's drafted by Boston but into Sky Blue. 3 goals there for her.
And I'm excited to see the partnership between Savannah McCaskill and Kalia Watt continue to grow. Can they link up? In games past, we've seen that back line for Sky Blue drop quite early, and there's a lot of space in front of that back line to be able to occupy and get turned and play make. But Savannah McCaskill is going to be tasked with making sure she can hold up play and allow other players to get involved in the attack, involved in the mix.
Lost by Kawasumi. McCaskill. Forced away from Watt. McCaskill drives on. McCaskill crossing all the way through past Rachel Hill. Now for another Chicago set piece. Great start for Chicago at the outset.
Really strong start by Chicago, right off on the front foot. More energy than we've seen from them in the past few games. Savannah McCaskill sees the gap, shoots it. Exactly what you want from a player who can get on the dribble, can play the final pass. That's a deadly ball in behind, just no one on the end of it.
McCaskill to take this set piece. 4 minutes in. McCaskill. This time rising up, punched away by Sheridan. Goralski knocks it wide. Kalia Watt. Anamanu. Kawasumi. And now Cujo. One of the stories of this Challenge Cup, with what feels like a veteran presence in midfield from a first-year NWSL player. Mitch Purse under pressure.
And I like this start by Chicago, especially from a team that's talked about they want to find out about their players. They want to see who can play at this level, who can make a difference for them. And there's no better way to find that out than to take risks. We've seen how good they have been defensively, not allowing many teams create chances against them or even get opportunities on goal. But it's been the question mark in the attack for them. Open up this game, allow Kalia Watt to get involved in the attack, allow McCaskill to have more fluidity, and DiBernardo as well, to show what she's been able to do in that number 10 spot.
Lewandowski, Purse. Johnson. Nice drop off. Cujo. Lewandowski taking the space. Mitch Purse. Monahan on the move. Anamanu. Kalia Watt. A shred of redemption in a really well-taken penalty at the end of the game. You could see her teammates overjoyed by it. Missed a good opportunity to end it in regulation against OL Reign. Wasn't to be. Will she score her first goal in the run of play? She's had her chances. Maybe she's off now. Kalia Watt driving on. In slides Estelle Johnson. Continues a phenomenal run of form.
And good positioning by Kalia Watt. Is her touch in the end that's too heavy. That allows for Johnson to come in and scoop it up. But those are the positions that they want to get her in, facing, running at the back line. And to your point about her penalty kick, brilliantly done from her, especially after missing that golden opportunity in the quarterfinals in the run of play, but then to be able to bounce back with confidence, put her penalty kick away when it mattered most.
And I love what Rory Dames told us in the lead up to this game. Yes, you missed that, and you know you can do better, but you made 4 people miss on your way to goal.
She created that chance herself.
Absolutely. St. George, nice cutback. Aims for the post and scores! St. George! A 2019 marred by injury. And in the semifinal, she's put Chicago ahead.
And you could see the astonishment on St. George's face. She couldn't even believe it. But they're able to keep possession, allowing her to get into attack, her preferred position instead of the right back. And they find her wide open. You can see Estelle Johnson's down on the ground, but it's that little cut there, and then outside of her foot to bend it around Sheridan. That finds the back of the net. That right there baits Lewandowski, able to separate herself, use Lewandowski's momentum to buy herself just a little bit more time. It looks like Sabrina Flores is going to be able to recover, but just in time. It's that little nick with the outside of her foot that finds that far post. Any other place, Sheridan would have been able to make that save.
And the secret virtual watch party powered by Google Meet. St. George, first professional goal. Really well taken. Scored 9 in her career at West Virginia. There's a great article written about her recovery from an injury last year. And perhaps a telling change here. Skrosky has come on. And Estelle Johnson has come off. Try and get an update on Estelle Johnson's condition. But Erica Skrosky put into a big situation here at center back. Nearly 10 minutes into the flow of the semifinal.
We haven't seen a better start from a team in this knockout stages other than North Carolina. They just weren't able to find the back of the net with the opportunities they created. Fantastic start from Chicago, a team that's only scored 2 goals in this entire tournament so far. So to come out, especially from your right back, being able to cover ground, get herself into an attacking position.
St. George. Halia Watt on an island, so very dangerous. Able to pull it through now. Watt tried to curl. St. George able to lift this over. Falls, kindly shot, and Rachel Hill. Chicago doubles the lead. Hill's first is a Red Star. 2-0 Chicago.
And not the start that Sky Blue wanted coming into the semifinal match. You see Kayla Watt splitting these 2 defenders. Kawasumi and Flores find some space. They cannot clear this ball, and it lands to Georges, puts in another dangerous ball, poor clearance, and then it falls right to Rachel Hill to be able to slot it and put it home past Kayla Sheridan. And right now, Sky Blue has to be able to regroup, out of sorts. Estelle Johnson out of the game, Skrosky in. And they're not even able to build themselves into this game. And credit to the pressure that Chicago Red Stars has employed in these first 10 minutes.
And local 134 over the moon. Cloud 9 right now is anything but. Early shocker here from a Chicago team that had all the analytics, all the visual evidence to make them think they were getting there offensively, and it's all clicked now. Skrosky came on for Estelle Johnson a moment ago due to an injury sustained in a tackle by Johnson after the second goal, who of course takes the lead, Lori.
And that's what you're going to need. McCall Zaboni, her leadership in the midfield, just to get this team to settle down, stay calm, get on the ball. Allow to build up through your possession. There's plenty of time left in this game. This can be a dangerous lead, 2-0. But they need to be able to work their way into this game using their defensive pressure. And then once they win it, keep the ball. Right now, too many giveaways for Sky Blue, out of sorts. And just like that, Chicago punishes you, 2-0.
Zerboni, part of a series of veterans brought in to try and change the culture at Sky Blue. They've done so many things off the field over the last 12 months. An exciting team to see at Red Bull Arena when they get back home, whenever that may be. Right now, a bit out of sorts as Chicago came out in the early minutes and has shocked Freya Coombe and Sky Blue FC. Colaprico rolled up on, foul.
And one thing coming into this match, Mike, was the experience that we've talked about for Chicago Red Stars. Yes, they haven't scored goals. Yes, they were continuously working on their partnerships in the attack. What does that look like in terms of the interchange?
Will this hold up? Goralski on the turn. McCaskill. Johnson was onside. When you think, Lori, the two goal scorers from the opening games in this tournament, Morgan Gautreau out, Casey Short out.
Talk about a team, though, that's built themselves through this tournament. Rory Dames very vocal about their progression in the early stages, rotating players, having that scripted in those four rounds of games, and then really starting to build and have their starting 11. And we've seen that consistency, and that always helps when you're trying to build partnerships.
You know, the funny thing is, when we were talking to Rory Dames, the first person to mention, oh, it's a semifinal, was actually him, referring to the media call. And they're clearly aware. And yet I don't think it really phases them, especially because it seems they haven't put all that much pressure on themselves to win. And perhaps in doing so, they've maybe unlocked a second gear here over these most recent games where their offense looks more fluid.
We said they had the roughest patch early on, a lot of tough conversations internally as a team. I'll say weathered the storm, but mainly got them all themselves on the same page. And then we're able to start focusing on soccer. Soccer was second early on for them in this tournament. Really starting to blossom at the right times.
Flores. Anamanu. Mishit. Far side switch. Lori, what do you want to see from Sky Blue as they try and recover from the hole they've dug early?
Well, you have the likes of McCall Zaboni, Jennifer Cujo showed her composure on the ball, and the same with Kawasumi. So get those players to feet, start playing to feet, just connect passes, see if you can start to force Chicago to defend, move them around defensively, chase the ball, but also just like this, get your pressure higher up the field, but make sure you stay tight as a unit.
Kaylia Watt, sprinter speed. Watt looks, fires across.
And this is something that Sky Blue has to be mindful of. This is Julie Ertz getting more in an advanced position to be able to float this ball over the top. And it's Kalia Watt, again, having such a time against Sabrina Flores, something that Sky Blue needs to be mindful of. If they can't get initial pressure, drop the back line. Otherwise, that back line has got to step. There's too much room, too much space in behind. And so far, Kalia Watt is winning that foot race.
Kalia Watt, targeted by Chicago for the last few years. They've really thought highly of her talent and felt that they could help her take the next step in her career, get into the national team picture with all those little nuances that separate the great from the elite on the world stage.
And as a player, we've heard her speak after these games, and I really appreciate her demeanor and her approach to this game, wants to continue to improve. Knew after last game, we mentioned the golden opportunity that she had that she missed. We were like, those are the game goals I have to put away. I have to be more clinical in front of goal, but also was like noted, and then moves on, and then comes out and has this performance that she's having right now, confident, running at players. And that shows the versatility that we haven't seen within the past season for Kalia Watt.
Hurst put under pressure. Lewandowski. Anamanu checks back. Allowed through by Waldmo. Lost toward Cujo.
And much like that earlier game with Houston versus Portland, we're seeing Chicago not only dictate the tempo when they have the ball, but also defensively, tight pressure, staying compact, not allowing Sky Blue to be able to play through them.
Here comes Watt. Toward McCaskill, Hill. Zerboni. Taking the space, Monahan.
And right idea by Monahan, a touch that separates her, get her into that space in between the midfield and back line. Miscommunication on that pass. But keep your eye on number 9, Kawasumi. She'll stand on the back line for the Chicago Red Stars, but when she pops off, she pulls St. George out of that back line, and there'll be space in behind. And that's the space that either McCall Zerboni or midfield needs to occupy, or Flores coming off the back line needs to find, get into.
Waldmo. Kawasumi. Kawasumi delivers toward Anamanu, falls kindly. Monahan hit the top of the bar. And then the offside flag was up. Really nice strike by Monahan.
And the best opportunity for Sky Blue. Monahan is starting to find some space right here. Wins this Julie Ertz clearance. Gets the ball out in front of her. Wonderful strike. Keeps it on frame. Unfortunately, ricochets right off the crossbar. Good look by Monahan and Sky Blue.
Hurst. Is Sky Blue growing into this game? 2 goals for them in the tournament. It was Monahan in the 17th, and Kawasumi in the 34th against Houston in a 2-0 win in their 3rd of 4 preliminary round games. Chicago hoping they'll run into Houston in the NWSL Challenge Cup Championship game. Ball through on Amanu. It's out of her reach. Championship game Sunday, 12:30 Eastern on CBS. St. George, McCaskill.
And right there, it's good pressure by Chicago, but also the wrong movement by Sky Blue. Nobody in the middle of the field to be able to unlock pressure once Sky Blue tries to build out of the back. Zaboni either needs to hold her run or Cujo needs to fill that space to be able to find the weak side.
Waldmo. On a dead sprint, Anamanu trying to get through. Nair colliding. Julie Ertz. Let's go down to Marissa with more on Kalia Watt.
Mike, Chicago assistant coach Scott Parkinson said that they are very happy with the space Kalia Watt is occupying on this right flank. He said that her defensive pressure has been so spot on, and on the attack, they want to keep servicing her through balls because she is doing so well in those 1v1 situations on that side. Parkinson also said they're happy to have this 2-goal lead, but make no doubt about it, they're going for their third.
And you love to hear that about Kalia Watt. Goes back to what we've been talking about, Rory Dames wishing he had more time with these players instead of 6 weeks. He wished he had 6 months, because those are the nuances that he wants to work with. Kalia Watt reading the defensive play, getting herself in a better position to exploit the space, and she's done that well so far in this half.
You know, Lori, we've come into this saying, take some risk. Go for it. What do you have to lose? And I think we're seeing that really out of both teams. I don't think Sky Blue shied away necessarily, despite the fact they've conceded twice.
And even just in the last 10 minutes, we're seeing Sky Blue start to build themselves into this game. Committed still to their style of play of keeping possession. Monahan with a few different opportunities. Anamanu a second ago with almost a through ball that Nair was able to clean up. But almost more opportunities in this first 25 minutes than we've seen from either of these teams throughout the tournament.
Bit of an exhibition there from Sky Blue. Kawasumi, throw. Ertz. Alyssa Nair. Both part of that World Cup championship winning side for the United States and France. Some major star power missing from this game. Tierna Davidson, Yuki Nagasato, Morgan Gautreau, Casey Short, all full internationals. Sky Blue, Carly Lloyd, Mallory Pugh. What does war of attrition mean at this stage? Because we've heard it from multiple coaches. To be fair, I think we misheard Rory Dames at first. We thought he said war of nutrition, which is an entirely different thing altogether.
You're like, wait, everyone's eating the same thing in the bubble. What do you mean?
The different teams have approached it differently. Can we get it to 65 minutes at 0-0? Are we able to make a positive step in the first 30 minutes to allow us to coast the rest of the way to some extent?
And both of these coaches talked about the mentality coming into this game, especially New Jersey matching Chicago's mentality, knew that they would probably come out direct. Chicago are the beneficiaries of that pressure and putting the ball in the back of the net. But now we're seeing it from Sky Blue, stepping up the pressure, getting tighter. Chicago having a more difficult time now breaking that initial line. Can't bail out of the back as easily. And we talk about Sky Blue and their ability to play and have more fluidity and composure on the ball. And we've seen a lot of signs of that throughout the tournament, but also the commitment defensively to read signs when they're going to step, when they're going to drop off, and manage the game on the defensive side.
Borowski now played through. This ripped high by Monahan on the feed from Anna Manu. Monahan, who's been dealing with a knock to her knee going back a few games.
And signs of life for Sky Blue. Little tricky play for Monahan to let that roll to Anna Manu and then be able to try to get it on the other end, but it's Julie Ertz, one of the best players, defensive players in the world, is reading that play wonderfully, coming over, forcing Monahan to shoot that over the crossbar. And coming into this game, we thought Julie Ertz was maybe going to play an important role going forward, getting into the attack, making runs out of the back line with the ball. But with them going up with this 2-0 lead, she's going to be better used just staying on that back line and making sure they stay compact and tight as a unit.
Cujo wins the corner for Sky Blue FC.
Sky Blue, they do have Anna Manu, they have Monahan and Skrosky who can win battles in the air, but not as dominant as Chicago.
Waldmo. And a foul. Reached the hydration break. What a start for the Chicago Red Stars. Bianca St. George, her first pro goal in the 8th. Rachel Hill, her first for the Red Stars in the 11th. Sky Blue has a long way to come back. You're watching the NWSL on CBS Sports. Let's go down to Marissa Pillamore on Julie Ertz.
Chicago head coach Rory Dames said having Julie Ertz's calming presence and leadership on the back line has been amazing for this team and has allowed them to increase their possession throughout the tournament. Dames said Ertz reads the game so well that she can verbally move her teammates into spaces on the field several seconds before a play actually happens there. Dames said Ertz does have the freedom to get higher up the field, get involved in the attack a little bit more, but because of some of the injuries they've had on defense, they're forced to have her stay further back, lock in the defense, and keep the team defensively sound.
And that's exactly what we were saying, 100%. She does have the ability. They would rather play her in the midfield, but given the injuries, given the current situation, quick turnaround between games, she's better utilized in that back line, especially with this 2-0 lead that can be dangerous and the life coming back into Sky Blue.
Mesa, Arizona native, listening to the instruction here. So 2 goals. Your need for Ertz is a lot different than it was if you're late in the game and trying to get offense going, because even Rory Dames told us you saw her take off into space.
I mean, bottom line is they're lucky to have her, right? She can play anywhere and make an impact. And I mean, that's why she's so important to this team and also the U.S. women's national team. She's so versatile, but her ability to win aerial battles and on set pieces so dangerous. Just the vocal leadership and also Nair behind her as well.
It's a long way from being a 4-year-old on a youth team called the Red Hot Chili Peppers for Julie Ertz. Semifinal number 2, Chicago and Sky Blue. Houston, through Rachel Daly, picking up the win earlier today to advance to the final over Portland. Either Chicago or Sky Blue will join them in the NWSL Challenge Cup Championship game Sunday on CBS. Early blitz from the Red Stars. And they're looking to have more. St. George. There's Sheridan.
And well read by Sheridan to come off her line. You can see the in-between that this back line for Sky Blue is in, not knowing really when to step as a unit or drop. It's just 5 yards, one direction or another. If there's pressure on the ball, you can step. If there's not pressure, drop the 5 yards, make sure you're tight. But there's a lot of space for the likes of Savannah McCaskill, something that we spoke about coming into this game, her being able to get on that half turn and run at the back line. Scouted by Chicago, knowing that there could be space if Sky Blue drops early. From like 10 minutes left to go in this half. Sky Blue has to build on the momentum they started to see the last 15 minutes. Get a goal if they can. Great ball by
Zerboni for Purse. Goralski took it away. Purse badgering.
If they can cut this lead in half, that'll be huge momentum going into halftime. Make the second half that much easier for them.
Pujo. Amadu placed it down. Good read by Purse. Cut that out. Hit it too far for Paige Monahan. Midge Purse among those players trying to draw the eye of Vlatko Andonovski and Kate Markgraf. Entering the bubble and watching potential U.S. women's national team players could feature at the Olympics or moving forward. Flores, who earned the starting job with an impressive performance off the bench last time out. Foul on Amanu. Turned right to Monahan. Zerboni leading Flores. Zerboni. Play will come back to the foul, which started outside the penalty area.
But this is exactly what you want to see from McCall Zerboni, a player they brought in for her experience, her competitiveness. We saw a moment ago her spray a ball out wide to Midge Purse to unleash and be able to create a 2v1. Her getting on the ball. She's going to be the one that's going to change this game for Sky Blue. She's got to keep finding the ball, keep moving off the ball, find open spaces, and continue to be more aggressive to get into the box and help unbalance the defense for Chicago.
Zerboni delivers. Enticing ball. Purse! Midge Purse. A missile that misses.
And why not Midge Purse? This is a dangerous ball in. It's easily cleared out by Chicago Red Stars in the end with their line of four just ready for a driven ball. And that looked closer than it actually is from Midge Purse, but why not first time? Those are the risks we're talking about. Take your chances when you get them. Now can you get that on frame and force Nair to come up with a save?
Kudjal plays it forward.
But that's something we haven't seen much of in this tournament, Mike. Players trying to take balls first time off the volley.
Ertz gave it away. That half second can really be the difference, Lori. That one extra touch, other than just simply trying to take it out of the air and give it a go.
And there's a fine line between rushing opportunities, not getting good looks, waiting for another pass so you can get more players into the mix and into the attack for numbers up overload. But if you have an opportunity like that and you can strike a ball like we just saw Midge Purse do, why not?
Kawasumi wins the throw. Anamanu trying to hold up. Difficult task, Julie Ertz. Hill. Kalia Watt. Watt will run at this back line. Flores helped to slow it down.
And Katie Johnson knew that she was beat. Wasn't going to be able to keep up with Midge Purse. That should be a yellow. Be a professional foul, but at the same time, Midge Purse had tons of room to be able to take the space and get into the attack. You see right there, just bringing her down, knowing what she's doing. But if you want to control this game, not let it get out of control, that's when a yellow needs to come out. And they did give the yellow. Missed the yellow.
First time in your
so
life.
into him giving the yellow. Spala.
Wide, this takes a couple of bounces. Alyssa Nair avoids conceding a corner to Sky Blue. Chicago have been to the playoffs 4 years in a row coming into last year. Won the semifinal, against Portland, went to the NWSL championship game, and their hopes dashed early on. Those who don't know this league all that well may not know Chicago, given that they don't have a trophy. Far and away one of the most successful and highly entertaining teams to watch year after year. Today, they're trying to do precisely what North Carolina did to them in the championship game last year. Early shock and awe. 2 goals in the first 11 minutes. Chicago trying to reach the championship game against Houston. Here comes Sky Blue trying to get one back. There's the ball across toward Flores and chipped away. Attack on through Zerboni. Went for goal. Got Nair to leap up for that.
And what an opportunity when you talked about trying to change the momentum going into halftime. This is it. Waldemar finds that space in front of the back line, and then it's Monahan. She picks out the right runner. Sabrina Flores was going to be on the end of this, but well done by midfielder DiBernardo to continue her run and have that covered. But that's in the end, it's Nair that gets her foot on and deflects that. Otherwise, it's going to be an easy tap in for Flores. Committed to her run. Good play by Sky Blue. Can they continue the pressure? There's still going to be about 5 minutes left to go with this hydration break and stoppages in play.
Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at highlights from the first semifinal and highlights from this first half. Is there more to come? Sheridan. Big pocket of space. McCaskill. Zerboni able to get through that wall of pressure. Kawasumi. Sarah Waldmo. Ball lofted high. Monahan rose up over Gordon. Nods that off target. 4 minutes of first half stoppage time.
And that's one of the first opportunities that we've really called Kawasumi's name, but every time that Sky Blue plays inside, then plays out, space opens up. They bypass that first line of pressure, able to get on the half turn. And they created numbers up situation out wide, whether it's on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. And we're serving dangerous balls in.
They cash in on one before halftime. Kawasumi. Strosky. Off the turn, Cujo. Gordon was there. Hill pestered. Lewandowski. Chicago foul. Halfway through first half stoppage.
And well done by Monahan to be able to just hold the play up, draw the foul. She has been active in this game, whether it's getting it on the outside, pulling herself inside to out runs, getting in behind, coming back and linking play.
Convenient ball came back for Sky Blue. Anamanu trying to spin by Ertz. Except a corner for a work. Waldmo delivers. Strosky.
And Mike, what I love about this reaction from Sky Blue after going down 2-0 is their belief. And we've seen that throughout the tournament, the belief in what they're trying to do as a philosophy in terms of building through possession, committed defensively, and they haven't backed down. They'll be upset with letting in 2 early goals and being disorganized defensively, not be able to break the initial pressure from Chicago, but have done well to shift the momentum and get themselves back into this game, and had the better of the play the last 20 minutes of this half.
Johnson held up a run. Instead, Hill deflects to Waldmo. Cujo. Zerboni. Eyes upfield, final seconds of this first half. The overlap from Purse. Gordon, the speed to burn. Collects, sends it out, sends us to halftime. 2 goals in about 4 minutes' time have separated Chicago from Sky Blue in this Challenge Cup semifinal.
It was all 20 minutes for Chicago. The first 20 minutes, it was all Chicago, putting Sky Blue under pressure, creating those chances, getting the 2 goals. But credit to Sky Blue to staying composed after going down early, getting themselves back into the game, starting to create chances, showing signs of life. Big task in front of them going into the second half. But at the same time, if they stay under composed and under control, opportunities will open up.
Opening goal of this game from Bianca St. George, who's standing by with Marissa.
Bianca, you scored your first professional goal in the 8th minute of that game of the first half. What opened up leading up to that goal?
Honestly, we all came in with one objective. We wanted to score early. I think our energy to start with was really intense. We wanted it, it showed it, and honestly, it was just a big team. It was a team goal. I feel like we all celebrated for each other.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Mission accomplished for Chicago Red Stars. Goal in the 8th from St. George. Goal in the 11th from Rachel Hill. That concludes the first half of play. We'll be back with more of the NWSL Challenge Cup presented by P&G and Secret.